Epic Gaming or Epic Music Reviews or whatever the heck you want to call me. And today I'm going to be reviewing Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory, their first studio album from 2000. As you know, Chester Bennington recently died, and that was a very hard loss for me and many other Linkin Park fans. So, as sort of an homage, and also because this is my personal favorite album, I'm going to review it. I don't know if this will take 2 videos or not, but because I really like this album, I'm going to most likely split it into 2 videos. One half covering the first 6 tracks, and the second half covering the second half, because I really like this album, so I really don't want to have to, confine it to one video. So, we start off with the first track, obviously. Well, to start things off, Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory was a album. Hybrid Theory meant the theory was combining hip hop and nu metal, the popular rock genre of the time, to create a sort of combination album, which was what Hybrid Theory was. And although not everyone cared for it, some people don't like it, they call it cringy or whatever, it's a really good album. It was kind of one of the pioneers for nu metal. And nu metal was, I've said this in the One More Light video, but I really think nu metal was a terrible era for rock music, and like I said, a lot of the bands that were started in this era have moved on and are a different kind of rock now, but are still relevant. I just don't really, I don't know. But anyway, so the first track is Paper Cut, and this is a perfect example of that mix between rock and rap. There's a rap verse, obviously. The verses are rap by Mike, and then Chester comes in with the chorus, and Paper Cut is just, I hear that song immediately, a second in, just the kind of beat at the beginning, yup, this is exactly what we're in for. And this is a perfect example of everything that you're going to be hearing on the album. It's a really good example of nu metal as well, and quality nu metal, to be clear. The second track is One Step Closer, and this is one of Linkin Park's most well-known songs. It's up there with In the End, Numb, and stuff like that. They're really big songs. One Step Closer is more of a rock song than a rap song. It's mostly just Chester's vocals, and this is a powerful vocal song by him, especially the verse where he says, "Shut up when I'm talking to you." That is such a powerful yell. It's like, whoa, this guy has some serious pipes. This is a really good example. If you are watching this and because you remember the album, or you like it, or you're just interested in hearing about the music because of Chester Bennington, this is a great example of his vocals at their absolute best, and this is a really good song vocally. The next song is With You, track 3. With You is one of the more mediocre songs on this album. I don't dislike any of the songs on this album, but this song is really kind of meh to me. It's there. It's got a really good guitar, kind of, and the chorus is okay. And obviously Joe Hahn's kind of discs and everything sound pretty good in this song. The next song is Points of Authority. Points of Authority is one of the better songs in this album. It has a really good opening rap verse and ending rap verse, and the discs and everything are really good. Again, it's just a really quality example of nu metal at its best. I would recommend this track. It's one of the better ones. The next track is Crawling. This is another really well-known Linkin Park song. It's obviously like one of their better songs on the album as well. It has other really good vocals by Chester. Again, if you've heard Linkin Park, you've probably heard this song. And this was like a personal song to Chester, because he struggled with depression his entire life, and obviously losing Chris Cornell and everything at the end of his days, all of that. And that's a serious issue that this song covers. Obviously, It's just a serious issue, and I think it's good that it's called. And even though people can call it, cringy, and it's yeah, it's I don't know, it's a really good song though. And then track 6 is Runaway. Runaway is really a good song. I really like that kind of second latter half of the song is a lot better than the first half. The first half kind of sounds like a regular Linkin Park song, just new metal, and the second half has a lot of like distorted screaming by Chester, and that's kind of a really ongoing thing. There's been distorted screaming in a lot of Linkin Park albums, and I think that this is the first real song that had the kind of distorted scream and the rap, and it's a good song, and it's thoroughly through by myself. This is another one of those tracks on this album that I feel is kind of mediocre. There's It kind of sounds like a lot of the other songs. There's nothing really significant about it to me. It has a kind of weird, kind of clanky drum beat. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's a really weird kind of sounding song. It's definitely good, but it's not one of the best songs on this album. The next song is obviously In the End, track 8, and In the End is my favorite Linkin Park song, and, well, probably my second favorite song after Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin, which I will review Zeppelin albums at some point, but not now. In the End is so good and so memorable because of its really good rap verse and really memorable chorus, as well as B or C verse with the vocals by Chester, and Mike's rapping is very good. I don't know many people who don't know this song. This is a fantastic song. It really represents Linkin Park very well, like Paper Cut. It's a great example of the rap and the rock component. It's just, the second I hear that opening piano, right at the first few seconds, I instantaneously know it's In the End. The next song, track 9, is A Place for My Head, and this is another really good song in terms of having kind of rap and rock, like Chester screaming, Mike rapping. It's kind of almost Meteora-ish in that sense. It's a really great album as well, great song on this album as well, because it provides a lot of heavy hardcore rock, and it also has a really good couple of rap verses as well. The next song is Forgotten. That has a really good back and forth kind of switches verses between Mike and Chester, like from the top to the bottom, and then bottom to top and yeah, it's like a back and forth between rap and vocals, and I think that's something really cool. And there's a ton of that on Meteora, especially with songs like Lying From You, but I'll get to that, because I'm going to cover Linkin Park's entire discography just scattered throughout. I'll probably cover Meteora at some point, but this, probably as in-depth too, but this song sounds kind of like the back and forth rap reminds me of something on like a Meteora. The next song is Cure for the Itch. Cure for the Itch is really just Joe Hahn's creation of him playing or tooling around with the turntable and just, making kind of a weird kind of disc scratching song. And it's actually pretty good. It's pretty well done for being just his song. And he always has at least one instrumental track on all of their albums, except for One More Light. That's just instrumentals or of his turntable or keyboard or something electronic. And there's a song like that on every album, like I said, except One More Light. And the last song is Pushing Me Away. This is a pretty good song too. It's a good closer, obviously. It sounds like what you hear on this album. It's a really good end to a really good album. There's not really a whole lot about it though. It's nothing fantastic, but it's definitely a decent enough song because I like every song on this album. Now, personal bias aside, if I would give this album a 10 out of 10, but that's because it's personal, and I don't like to be biased. I like to go by what I think as well as other people. I think collectively this album would most likely, at a critical standpoint, seeing the fact it went platinum, seeing it's a really good selling album, really memorable album, I think I would give it an 8 out of 10 in a non-biased way. And if I were to give it a letter grade, I'd give it an A minus. I think that's a fair grade for an album to this level, and I think that this is a really great album. It's a great album if you're just beginning.